What's up, YouTube? As you know, hydration is a gradual process. And you also know that swelling is the first symptom of disease. Inflammation itself is the first symptom of disease. So whenever we swell, whether it's our organs or our muscles or whatever, that is an injury of some sort. Swelling has to occur. We take on water. We swell. We get to a point, because swelling is water weight. So we get to a point of the passion gets to the surface. You build all that water, then the passion comes to the surface, and then that fire builds and burns off all that water naturally. So then you would, do whatever, clean up, do self-induced fevers, which is an exorcism or exercising, whatever, do the breath work, what have you, whatever it is that brings about the fire in you, that would happen if you just went through the process gradually. But most of us suppress this process with the false fires, with the acids and smoke and everything else, hot people, everything, all the false fires, the external fires. And the more you got to reach, the more hot it is usually. The more you got to chase it, the more hot it is, the more it's glowing off the flame. And it's just to stay comfortably numb. So you're supposed to swell and then sit still, and then you breathe, and that's your respiratory system. So you can respond again, because consciousness is a responsibility, energy is responsibility. So the more energy you have, the more consciousness you have, and then the only way to get to that level of a full cup like that is to allow the spirit in, which is the breath. Energy is spirit, which is breath. So that's the whole process of healing, really. Just swelling, sitting still, then you breathe off all that, you get the fire up, breathe off all that water, and then you can respond and act accordingly with the Tao. And then you realize what it was, and you accept the whole process, and you don't judge anything. That you shed that water weight, and then you just keep heating up from the breath. The more you breathe, and the more you do the process of raising the fire within you, increasing the circulation with the diaphragmatic breathing, and then and the self-induced fevers as well, which is again exercising or exorcism. And that's how you drop the water, and then you just continue to reduce. It's just reduce and reduce. Less water, less emotion, less emotional baggage, less weight. But most people just impede on that process by taking in the false fire, and then you just stay comfortably numb, and then you just kind of go back to start, and you never face the emotion. You never get to that natural precipice of the emotion to where you complete the process, and it flows through you, because you're allowing the emotion to flow through you. But then you take the false fire in, and it impedes on your own fire. It blocks your own passion, because then you can't tell the difference. It's just like why you need to be in the darkness to charge the pineal. It's like you need that's just for the contrast, so you can use your own light to return to the source of light. But if you keep taking in all this false light, then a lot of people can get lost in that, and they can't discern. Some people might be able to take on more, just depending on where you are in your process. But either way, it's all relative. People know their levels of temptation. They know where they are, as far as their allocation of energy. People know what they can and cannot take on, and a lot of this, as far as getting the cup to a different level, to where you can fill the cup, or shrink the cup to where you can easily fill it, and then where your cup just runneth over, and you can constantly give, then you can receive more, and your cup just continues to shrink, and then you need less, you have more. That whole process just is sitting still, breathing. But that's what everybody does. They get sick, then their body seizes up, then they go to the hospital, and then the hospital says, make them sit still, breathe for them, expand their lungs fully so they can breathe from the diaphragm, and then you heal. And then people just get gradually sicker and sicker, and then they need that process more and more, and then they become more and more dependent on somebody else breathing for them and venting for them. But I guess that's just something that has been ingrained in their whole life in a lot of ways. People have been breathing for them or venting for them. So the info's in the description. Check that out. Watch out for the false fire, or watch in for the false fire, however you want to look at it. 2020 Tantra on Amazon. Check me out on Instagram. Like I said, the email's in the description for the PDFs, audiobooks, and you can get the paperbacks on Amazon. 2020 Tantra.